I got sober when I was younger, in 2001, which I now look at as a sort of a JV version of what really the problem is. I was sober for a couple of years, and then I thought, I want to just drink like a normal person, and I want to have wine at dinner and so on. And I was able to. I was able to for about 8 years.
But he says he learned that sooner or later your vulnerabilities can find you.
I started to drink more and more and more, and it was really hard for me to accept that meant I was an alcoholic. I was like, I can just go back. I was fine before. I just need to take a break. I just need to slow down. I'm okay. You know what I mean? This isn't me. And I started to drink every day. When I come home from work and I start to drink, and I just sit there and drink till I pass out on the couch. I really don't want my children to pay for my sins.
Or to be afraid for you.
Or to be afraid for me, which is one of the hard parts of being the child of an alcoholic. Do you think, what if my dad gets drunk? What if he does something stupid? What if he ends up on TMZ? And it's on my news feed and other kids see it.
Did you watch the TMZ? Did you watch the
I didn't. Slip? I saw a little bit. I saw a little bit of it. So yes, I guess I did watch some of it, although not the whole thing. I know what it looks like to be drunk. I don't need to watch any more of it.
I'll tell you the truth. It depends, right? At the beginning, it's very, very hard. It's 10, okay? You start off because you're in the habit of doing this, whatever it is. And, compulsive behavior, it's like if you limit to alcohol or alcohol and drugs, it's a sort of certain segment of society. If you look at the people that overeat, eat their fucking feelings, and end up just as unhealthy, it's a lot more. If you look at people who shop and gamble or have sex or relationships or use the fucking phone, we're very programmed to seek out rewards and get compulsive about it, gamble, whatever. Nonetheless, it's fucking hard because you've taught yourself this is the only way to ease my pain. I'm in pain. This is the only way to make it better. And I used to go to meetings and hear all these like old timers say, I'm a grateful alcoholic, and the obsession left me a long time ago. And I would get so angry, I'd be like, fuck you, you're not grateful. What are you grateful for? You fucked your life up, you're grateful, congratulations. Boy, I want some of that too. And the obsession left you, what the fuck are you doing here? You don't want to drink? You're not an alcoholic, get the fuck out of here. I'm dealing with problems. I want to have a drink, how about that? You're just, and I resented that for a long time. And I went through a series of, I got sober for a year and a half. I wanted to be sober, I committed to it. And the problem with that fight is like, you can win 1,000 times, you only have to give in once. And you're never gonna win all the time.
Right.
So something fundamental has to change. And I hate to say it, but the cure for addiction, the only cure I've seen, and not like these fucking overpriced rehabs or a lot of these fraudulent fixes that are sold to people. They're good people who will support you. Alcoholics Anonymous, I think by and large is a good organization. It's not the only one. The cure for addiction is suffering. You suffer enough that something inside you goes, I'm done.
For me, seeing my dad was just, he was drunk every day, and that was just life. And as that got worse, that was really, really painful. And I always said, that'll never be me. I'm never going to do that. I wish he had been sober during those formative years, but what he's taught me is how important it is for me to be sober now during these formative years for my kids.
He says his mother was his rock, but as his family broke apart, he vowed never to repeat it.
What was the hardest thing for you to be honest with yourself about?
That I was going to get divorced. That I never thought I was going to get divorced. I didn't want to get divorced. I didn't want to be a divorced person. I really didn't want to be a split family with my children. And it upset me because it meant I wasn't who I thought I was. And that was so painful and so disappointing.
In yourself?
In myself.
And he says a wake-up call about the dad he is determined to be.
I took the last half of the year off and I just got to be dad. Drive him to school, pick him up, go to the swim meet. Just that's where the parenting happens. It's in the cracks. It's in the moments where you're just taking them back from soccer and they say something profound or they talk about how they're really feeling about something. And it's like, that's where you get to be the parent. That's the joy of it. And that's what I don't want to miss.
And I'm like lucky because I hit that point before I lost really the things that were the most important, which was not my career or money, but was my relationship with my kids. And when I felt as if it impacted them, I recognized it it was the worst day of my life. I made amends. And for a while, I thought maybe this is temporary. Maybe this feeling is going to go away. But since that day, I swear to Christ, I have not ever wanted to drink once. Ever.
Wow.
So it's the easiest thing in the world. Because every time I think about it, I'm just like, holy shit, that's the worst idea in the world. I don't want that. I can't do that. And that's the piece that people find. So now I'm that asshole who's like, I'm grateful. I learned a lot. I actually got to be a better person through this process, and I've lost the obsession.
I'd like to find some sort of sense of meaning and purpose. I was not raised religious. I'm not a very good Christian, although I go to church with my kids because it was important to Jennifer, and now I go too, and I like it quite a bit. There are things that I would love to go back and change. I have regrets. I made plenty of mistakes, some big, some small. I wish I could go back time and change all kinds of things, but I can't.